Michigan State's Midnight Madness event occurred over the weekend. This is one of the best season kickoff events in all of college basketball. Been doing it for 20 plus years at this point. Tom Izzo makes a grand entrance. You've always got big recruits visiting, and in this case, Ethan Taylor, the five-star center, was on full display, receiving Ethan Taylor chants from the Izzone, and then at the MSU student campout as well, which is a requirement for all Izzone members. It's a really cool event. I experienced it when I was in college. Reminder, yes, I am an MSU alum, believe it or not. And it's one of the most unique, fun things for students that you can look back on years later and say, I got to be a part of that. You also get a look at what this Michigan State team is going to look like. And there's a viral clip of Cohen Carr throwing down an alley-oop dunk from a lob from the stands. One of the cooler clips I've ever seen. And then we got actual scrimmage observations as well. So that's what we're going to discuss here, not just the extravaganza event that is Midnight Madness, but what did they look like in the scrimmage. Now, before we get into that, let's be as clear about this as we can, because sometimes we get criticized for this as if we're trying to present this as if we were there. We weren't there. In fact, I think a lot of people we wish were there weren't there, from what I've been able to tell. I think the fact that Michigan State football played at Nebraska may have affected the coverage of Midnight Madness a little bit. I don't know that for sure, but there just isn't any like formal five takeaways from Midnight Madness that you would normally get from the usual suspects. So I don't know what that's about, but it just is what it is. From the sounds of it, they did do a scrimmage like they always do at the end of this, and it was, I believe, the ones against the bench. It sounds like Kurt Tang was the starting shooting guard with the ones and not Trey Fort. So coming off the heels of the Trey Fort defensive quotes from Tom Izzo last week, that's maybe an interesting moment here. But this is what we're going to do. We have some write-ups, some bullet point write-ups from a member of our Discord that is a prominent Michigan State Twitter member. And let's just shout him out. This is from Andrew Cumbo. So shout out to Andrew Cumbo. Everybody go follow him if you're a Michigan State fan. But he was in attendance and shared his observations with the Discord. These are the only things we're going off of. We're going off written bullet points from an event that Carter and I have not seen, that as far as I can tell, no one else has documented anywhere. So if it's wrong, it's just one person's opinions from what he saw.
It's Cumbo? I thought it was K Lucas.
It's K. Lucas.
K Lucas is Cumbo?
Yeah, everyone in our Discord has known this for a year, and you haven't.
All right, then.
We're just doxing a guy right now. But
shout out to my guy Cumbo. I didn't know he was in the Discord.
Been a sleeper Discord member for quite a while now. It's great. Anyways, okay, this was Andrew's takeaways. I'm going to read them, and then we can react to them from what he saw at Midnight Madness. I'm going to read this word for word. I'm not adding anything to this until you go. He wrote, hard to take away too much from a 10-minute pickup game, but Fears' jumper is still ugly. I'm not sure he's made much improvement in that area. Divine looked like the better point guard in the scrimmage. Cooper looks to be in great shape.
Okay, stop there. No, I'm kidding. Keep going.
Cooper looks to be in great shape. Fort missed his first couple shots, but then had a nice dunk and hit a three. I like him. Ward played well. Think he led both teams in scoring and had the game winner. Not much from Kohler, Tang, Scott, Carr. Messages from Dan Campbell, Tarek Skubal were cool. Loved the Ethan Taylor chants. That is Cumbo's observations from being in attendance at Midnight Madness. The big thing here for us to overreact to is obviously the Jeremy Fears bullet point here. But I will say this. Cam Ward positivity, Carson Cooper positivity, both seem like very good developments and very real possibilities for this team. Like Cam Ward's going to have a chance to be really good. And I think the Cooper smoke from all the improvements he's made seems pretty real at this point. But let's start with the fear stuff. How terrified are you if one of the takeaways from someone we trust at this event is, man, his jumper's still broke and Divine looked pretty good.
So for me, the jumper being broke is, I think, kind of just what we need to accept maybe from Jeremy Fears at this point. So like that, to me, the thing that killed me with Fears last year was the inability to even look at the basket when he was going to the basket, right? It wasn't even the jump shot thing. It was the fact that when he went to the basket or put the ball on the floor, he was not a threat to score at all, whether it's like a layup, a floater, anything involving that. He basically wasn't doing that, in my opinion, attacking the basket. Uh, am, Obviously, I'm not the jumper and the form still being off and broken, not ideal. The main part that I don't like to hear out of this is that he wasn't the best point guard on the floor. And
Yeah,
that the best and that now that is like, nah, I don't like the feeling inside when I hear that.
yeah. I mean, I'm doing my best to not overreact to anything because number one, I didn't see it. Not that I don't trust Combo, I do, but I didn't see it. And number two, it's basically an exhibition fan night. Now, I know from being in attendance previously, when you get to the scrimmage portion of Midnight Madness, they take it seriously. Like you would not ever expect a Tom Izzo team to be going through the motions of a scrimmage. They don't. So I think this is real basketball. I didn't see it. So I'm not going to overreact. But at the same time, I don't think it's overreacting to just say that in any sort of basketball setting, fives, ones after practice, at the playground, I don't care. And 2K, Jeremy Fears should beat Divine Ogachukwu comfortably.
Yes.
It shouldn't matter the format, shouldn't matter the setting. This is a guy.
Shouldn't matter the sport.
I think this is something we're going to say a lot this year, especially if like this is a sign of things to come potentially. If strides were not made, this is something I'm going to bring up a lot. You've wagered a lot on Jeremy Fears here. Trey Holloman's not here because he wanted to play point guard. You told him you're not a point guard because we got our point guard. Like this is the guy. You've built it all around this guy. And if he hasn't taken a significant leap or at least created separation between him and the Miami transfer who just should not play serious minutes, that's a major red flag to me. So, and again, part of Fears' whole aura here is like not even necessarily his skill set stuff, but he's supposed to be wired like this elite competitor who is like the galvanizing leader of this entire team. You would think that like the first showcase in front of all the games is kind of like, oh, it's my team now, his moment. And it sounds like the opposite happened. Like that would not have me feeling good at all if I'm a Michigan State fan.
Yeah, just to keep it straightforward. I think you made the best point of this. I don't think there should be ever a case or a day where Jeremy Fears doesn't look like the better point guard up against Devon Ugochukwu. And look, I said my points about Ugochukwu and what I think he could be for this team. Maybe I'm a little bit more down on him than others. But at the same time, even me being down on him, I don't ever think it should be a discussion or a thing that Fears doesn't look like the best point guard on the floor. Like maybe Ugochukwu gets a few more here or there, but like as far as like being the best point guard on the floor in any setting that's basketball centric, I wouldn't want that to be a discussion.
Yeah. Now on the flip, this could be interpreted as pretty great signs that Divine Ugochukwu is better than we think. Do you give any stock to that whatsoever or no?
I do for me personally because I didn't see him like taking off his warm up, so it's probably at a further point than that. But I mean, someone did joke about it a long time ago. Ugochukwu is like an athlete, right? He also can't shoot. The thing that's supposed to separate him and Fears is like Fears can pass, leadership, other things, intangibles. If he's not doing that, then that gap is smaller as far as skill set wise.
Dion, how's your job going?
Beginning of the school year, everything's like a little up and down. One of the biggest issues we've had is we can't find any uniforms for our girls' sports teams.
Mm. That's a difficult thing to find a solution for. I know damn well all about that because I got a daughter that just turned 2. She's into sports and she's already outgrowing every little piece of sports apparel she had. Thankfully, I know Clara Kate Creations. Clara Kate Creations was started by a former high school teacher who quit because it wasn't cost effective to send new twins and a 2-year-old to daycare. She found it easier to make girl sports apparel than finding it to buy. And I am so thankful that she exists because if we have an old shirt of Murph's that she's outgrown, we can send it in and she takes that piece of apparel that means something and upcycles it into an outfit that Murphy can now wear as she grows up. She makes great stuff. It's honestly kind of like your fullback's wife, Kyle Juszczyk. Is that how you say it? She does that. But honestly, I think Clara Kate's coming for Mrs. Juszczyk's job.
I love that. I'm a big Juice guy. Love his wife. Love Claire Kate even more than both of them, though.
You can send in your own custom ideas and she will come up with a design. She's just the best. Look up Clara Kate Creations on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and more. Yeah. Yeah. I think it can simultaneously be both. The fact that Ugachukwu looks anywhere near Fears is a win. Absolutely, that's a win for Ugachukwu, and like he might be a playable backup point guard. Great. At the same time, it should be pretty terrifying, I think, if you're a Jeremy Fears believer or a stockholder. And lastly, I feel like, look, again, we weren't there. We're just literally going off what Combo has shared, and we've gone back and forth with them a little bit in the Discord. It's one of the perks of being in the Sleepers Discord. We have conversations like this all the time. But sounds like a big part of like the Fears performance here or lack thereof is where his jumper is at and what it looks like. Now, reminder, Fears' jumper has been horrible his whole career. I get you can look at just the percentage, and certain Michigan State accounts will try to tell you his jumper's not all that bad because of the percentage. The volume is the important part with Fears. He doesn't want to shoot. He's shooting wide open jumpers and making like 34% of them. Um, I believe, you tell me if you agree with this or not. I believe this offseason, it looks like he has a completely new jumper form. Like it looks like he tore it down and said, I need to fix this. I wasn't he working with Mike Miller or something? It was like, I'm starting from scratch with a jump shot and it's going to be better. My guess is that's what happened. We saw it a little bit at Moneyball and it looked broke. Like we heard reports from Moneyball that was like he's 1 for 20. Okay, if that's still there and now we're here, that might be why he looks so bad.
Mm.
Like he might have gone backwards in progress with jumper if he tore it down. And I think he can still be a playable player, but that's very ominous going into the season.
Yeah, and we don't want that. And obviously you want to see some improvement in the jump shot. I don't think he was ever going to leave here being a jump shooter by any stretch of the means. Like I said, though, to me, it's more so like you got to be a threat on the floor. Like if you're not going to be a threat from three, be a threat to at least go to the hoop and do something, and floater, layup, something that you or just some type of complete not. You can't be just a complete negative on the floor. You can be a non-shooter, but you can't be a just a complete offensive negative.
1 to 10 concern level with Fierce based on these rumblings. Because I could see it going both ways, Carr. If you want to interpret this as real, and Cumbo is normally like an optimist and very good at this stuff, I would be like 10 out of 10. This is terrifying. I could also see it's Midnight Madness. Who cares? Throw it all out. Doesn't matter. I believe in Jeremy Fears. 0 out of 10. So where do
A
you
four,
land on that spectrum?
four.
So you lean more on the side of I'm not worried about Jeremy Fears.
It would have been a zero, but I think the four shows are just a little smidge,
Okay.
just a little tiny smidge.
Okay. Flipping. Can I raise the second most concerning thing about this?
Can I guess what it is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nothing from Carr.
Yeah, so what have we been hearing all offseason? It's Carr's team now. He's got a 1-year plan. He's the guy.
1-year plan.
That's all I've been pumped with hearing is that the plan is Carr's out after this year.
Oh wow.
I think that's also a Cumboism, is he's been told that plan is he's gone after this year.
That's crazy.
So I just simultaneously, if I'm hearing this correctly, which I believe I doubled and triple checked Card. I read it a couple times to make sure I have this correct. Simultaneously, nothing from Cohen Carr in this game, and Fears looked worse than Ugachukwu. That's where we're starting this season at from the two core members of this team.
Love where we're at.
Huh. Huh.
Yeah,
So,
it's not ideal.
well, it's a little confusing because it's almost like the scrimmage portion of Midnight Madness, they must have played like actual 5-on-5 basketball. And turns out that all the dunky dunks and the wide open corner threes that Michigan State's posted a million of maybe don't apply to actual 5-on-5 basketball.
Yeah. Well, no, it's
So
probably like he did that. It just wasn't like we're not impressed by that anymore. Like Cohen Carr definitely like if this was last year, we'd be like, hey, Cohen Carr hit three threes. Now it's just like whatever. Like he played okay. He missed too many.
So are you saying he hit three threes
Yeah.
in the scrimmage?
Yeah, he probably did. And we're just like, yep, that's Cohen
I
now.
think we would have heard that. I think we would have heard that from
We would have
Cum.
heard it last year. This year it's not surprising.
No,
That's
I
what he
think we would have
does.
heard that from Cum. Look, Cohen got his moment as he always does. He had one of the coolest dunks I've ever seen. An oop from the I don't even know what you call it, from the top of the lower bowl. It was sick. That's Cohen. If Cohen's the same Cohen and he's still not really a usable 5-on-5 first or second or third option, people got some explaining to do for me because I was told the new
It,
Cohen was coming.
it would have been nice to have a little bit of a like a stamp of approval in this setting because I think even in the stuff that you see from the summer, you have been able to obviously you get the classic like highlight tape, he hit some threes. But also like even in like some of the smaller things you've seen in like the little minute clips, like you see some other things as far as him like putting the ball on the floor, doing some other things outside of that. It would have been very nice in this setting. Like that would have been my one ask. Like if we had a Midnight Madness wish list, it would have been for me to be at the point where I'm like we saw what Cohen Carr did all like we had the moments, the highlights during the summer. He also doubled down, stamped it when it got to Midnight Madness time.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, that sucks. Damn. I wish that would have occurred.
Yeah. Cohen's going to be fine. He's a good rotation player at minimum, even if he is exactly what he is. The question is just, is he going to be exactly what he is, or is he a brand new guy that can like lead this team in scoring? And I have not followed the line of thinking that says he could be that. I think there's a lot of basketball processing stuff Cohen has not had that you need to be a first or second leading scorer on Michigan State. And you would think if that was really there, maybe that shows a little bit more than. I mean, he's basically thrown in like, yeah, nothing from him in this scrimmage. That's just that mixed with simultaneously Fears not standing out is like one of these two's got to stand out. Otherwise, what are we doing? Cam Ward, positive, happy, good things. I like Cam Ward a lot. The question for me has been from what I've heard all summer, they've only been working him at the 4 behind Kohler.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that because if Cam Ward's really good, he needs a more clear takeoff lane to me than behind senior Jackson Kohler at the 4. So it's good to see, like, we think he led all in scoring and hit the game winner here. That's great to me. I buy that. I think he's a dog. But I'm hoping that maybe a performance like this could open up avenues for him to not be a backup 4 and instead possibly even play alongside Kohler potentially. But I don't know. Are you any thoughts on?
Yeah, I think Cam Ward, I always thought that just given his game, his personality, everything that goes along with him as a basketball player, there's a clear path for him to play, obviously. Now what that looks like, I'm not exactly sure. I'll say this to you though. I mean, everyone's gonna play 20 minutes anyway. So just whether it's I think
I don't think so. That's one of my first bold predictions.
not gonna happen this year.
I don't think this team is nearly as deep as last year's.
But does that matter to Izzo?
Yes. Izzo went on the extreme side of it because of how awesome deep you were last year.
Mm,
It's not like he's done that every year of his career.
right. I mean, look, if let's say like Cam Ward's put himself in the spot where he's like the sixth man on this team. Um, I think obviously we have seen like you're not going to be able to play Carson Cooper major minutes. I don't think that's ever going to be a thing for him. So I do think you are going to see some Cam Ward and Kohler together.
We might get to like 24 for Coop, 16 for Jesse. There's your 5 spot. I would argue we want Kohler to slide to the 5 a little bit in that mix, but
Yeah, I don't.
um,
16 for Jesse sounds like a lot.
yeah, I hear that. Yeah, I don't know. I just buy the Cam Ward's good. Didn't Cohen used to work at the 4 primarily? Or is he? No, he's always been the 3. We've wanted him at the 4,
Yeah,
right?
we always wanted him at the 4, but he's been a 3.
It's interesting to me that Cohen is the 3 and Ward is the 4. To me, they have similar issues skill set wise, but Ward is maybe already possessing some of the basketball instinct stuff I wish Cohen had.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know what I'm implying with that, but just I kind of hope Cam Ward gets some reps at the 3 too. I think that would be good for this team rather than pigeonholing him in 15 minutes at the backup 4 spot. There's a world where Cam Ward's like one of the best 4 players on this team. And it's not all that crazy of a world, to be honest. Like, it's not all that crazy to think Cam Ward is just, God, people are going to kill me for this. It's not crazy to think he's just a better basketball player than Cohen Carr. It's not. It would be, that world would be Cohen being the same guy. Sixth man type, really good. But Cam Ward being like a good basketball player. Like, that's possible. It's possible that Cam Ward is the NBA guy people want Cohen to be. So I don't know. If the takeaway from this was like Cam Ward looked like our best player, that's interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, if Carson Cooper wasn't in such great shape, I'd say bump him to the bench and just go Kohler at the 5. Let's get our best players on the floor then.
Coop might be one of them, though, man. I mean, by all accounts, he's moving well. He's reshaped his body and he's hitting trail threes now. Like, I know we make jokes about it, but I think there's an argument he's probably the most improved guy on the entire team, which would be good. That's not a hang your head. This isn't the Coop from 2 more years ago. He's a good Big Ten starting 5 now.
Um, I like that there's Ethan Taylor chance.
Sounds like Ethan loved his visit.
Yeah. And my coach slept in a tent and then hopped on the red eye to go make sure Maximo Adams saw him.
Did you hear Izzo say, "Who's that?" when they were chanting Ethan Taylor?
Did he?
Yeah.
Such a dickhead, man.
Ethan and Izzo goes, "Who's that?"
Oh man, I could look, I could have shaped Midnight Madness the way I wanted to if it was a piece of clay and I got to mold it the way I wanted to. Would have molded it different. I think I would have obviously liked to see some other things. Overall takeaways reading these, obviously I didn't see it in person. It doesn't give me, I'm not even gonna put a number on it, like feeling wise, but like as far as warm, fuzzy, hell yeah, my team's here. Not necessarily how I'm feeling coming out of it, but at the same time, I need to find it within myself to realize what this is, and it is Midnight Madness, it is a scrimmage, but at the same time, if there was some positives that I wanted to hear out of this, I would have came on here and be like, well, it was still, it's still a basketball game scrimmage setting.
Yeah.
So
Stock up Divine Ugachukwu, the bench general, as I call him. He's got a very bright future ahead. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hashtag make the madness midnight again.